Spencer and I, earlier this week, attended Boxer, the promoter's press conference this week, which officially announced Chris Billam-Smith and Richard Riakporhe for the WBO Cruiserweight title at Selhurst Park on June the 15th. We caught up with both fighters. Here's Chris Billam-Smith, but first, the challenger, the midnight train, Richard Riakporhe.
The fans have seen the first fight. We don't have to play with any gimmicks and do any Oscar award acting. We don't need to do that. The fight there's certain fights that just sell itself, and you can see there's real needle there.
More from him than you, actually.
That's interesting.
I see more needle every time you speak. I see him huffing and puffing. He doesn't want to be in the same room as you. You're quite relaxed, and I see you as the favourite, by the way.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest, I feel the same way. But I'm a really relaxed and reserved person. I don't really get emotional that quickly. It takes a lot for me to get.
I reckon I could make you emotional right now.
Really?
Yeah, I could start singing some love songs.
This is going to turn into a different podcast. Listen, I recognise why he's so uptight and whatnot, because you got that victory back in 2019. It was a tough fight, went down to the wire. It was an absolutely brilliant barnstormer in many ways. He's always wanted that. He's always wanted that return. He now gets it, but yet he's holding the belts. But he'll recognise, hold a minute, it's all about legacy. And when you fight another guy from your country, you're always remembered for those fights. So he has to overturn that. That's why the pressure's on him, even though he's the champion. Richard Riakporhe won the last fight in 2019.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's a champion, and as a champion, things are demanded of you every single day. You have to defend your title. So I remember we was doing an interview with the Glover Off yesterday.
How was it?
It's entertaining.
Is it going to be enjoyable to watch?
Yes, 100%.
What was a big moment from it?
Too many.
Did you shake hands?
Too many. Yeah, well.
Did you shake hands?
Something like that. But I think it's one of those type of fights where you want to be the hunter in a fight, but at the same time you have to defend your title. Listen to the words I'm using. You have to defend your title and remain a champion. The real hunter is me.
It was good fun. Look, I don't really get into much with my opponents, but when you trip yourself up so much, you need someone to catch you, and call you up on it. So yeah.
I mean, the last fight was 2019. It went down to the wire, close fight. Has that always been an itch of yours to get that return, to get that? And I mean, you've even given away home advantage as well. So shows how much you, as the champion, wanted to right the wrong of the last contest.
Yeah, obviously any fighter wants to avenge a loss. Any sportsman wants to avenge any sort of loss. But it would never have defined me, and I always said that, especially as I've gone on to win world title and have a defence and sort of had those 4 Bournemouth fights, which were epic. But I'm buzzing that he's mandatory challenger, and I get a chance to right the wrong.
And amazingly, 5 years on, you've both really developed. You've shown what minerals you've got. You've won the world title. He's become more patient as a fighter. Weirdly, with the bookies, he's a marginal favourite. How do you feel about that?
I'm always that's the way it works in these a lot of domestic fights. Lawrence fight, I was a 3-1 underdog. Yeah. A few mates won some money on me that day. So
I bet your mates are loving you right now, aren't they?
I got a free meal out of it on the stag do the week after, so I'll take that. But it doesn't matter. The only opinions that matter to me are my own, my teams. Probably about 6 people that opinions matter to me. Bookies, absolutely not.
Spencer and I were there, obviously. John Hedges, cruiserweight prospect, best looking man in Britain, Armani model, blah, 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 which is going to go out there now. You are just that. Can't sing, though, and I need to repeat that. What do you think of those two from that? Who comes across as the guy, the man in the know, the man in the ring that's going to take the dominant position on June the 15th?
From what I just heard there, I thought Richard spoke very well. He spoke very demanding, very confident, and didn't really give too much away, and I think that's a massive show of maturity. It's like he's been there. He's been there before. He's confident. He's not arrogant, not gone over the top. Yeah, he come across really well.
What was your takeaway from it, Spence? Because I felt the same thing as John.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what we heard there was Richard's grown as a fighter, and his personality. He believes in himself now, and you can hear that belief in his voice and the way that he talks. And I think that shows in his performances as well, and that's why I marginally pick him. But look, what we do know about Chris Billam-Smith is that when the chips are down, when things are going against him, he can ride that storm and weather it. That's what champions do. That's why it makes it so.
He's hittable, though.
He is.
And I think when Richard Riakporhe, the midnight train hits you, you know about it.
Yeah, he's a very powerful
That's the thing
man.
with Chris. He's very durable, like we just covered that, and he's very fit.
Yeah.
Although he didn't show it as much in his last fight, Chris's performances, he starts at a high pace for a long duration. So it's how quick Riakporhe starts. I do believe that as well. It's the quickest starter. Does Riakporhe go into the fight or not?
It's a great fight, isn't it?
Yeah,
great
brilliant fight. Absolutely brilliant. Especially with the history.
We love an all-British ding-dong. We had a brilliant one with Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clark a couple of weeks back. We've talked tonight about Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall going at it again. Who's going to be your big British rival coming up? Who's obviously Isaac Chamberlain fights Michael Sislak for the European title. Isaac was in with us last weekend. He's a great fighter as well.
Yeah.
He's developing all the time. Who's that guy that you're going to meet at British level? Who's your rival? Are you targeting?
Do you know what, Gareth? This sounds like I'm sitting on the fence, but I'm genuinely not. I just believe we're all moving at different paces, and there's not really many young cruiserweights coming through right now. I'm a very young man to be in the cruiserweight division. It's a big weight division, and like I say, Southern Area title's next for me. I've got to win that.
How highly do you rate Chev Clark?
Sparred a lot of rounds with Chev. Me and Chev have shared a lot of rounds.
He's a powerful guy, right?
Yeah, a powerful man, a great fighter, a gentleman. There's nothing I can say bad about Chev because, like I say, we've shared so many rounds. We've helped each other out in camp so many times, and Chev will go a long way. And I do believe Chev beats the likes of Isaac. Hence why I think Isaac took the European route. And Vidal's special to me. I know Vidal quite well. We're good mates, yeah. And Vidal's a very good fighter, very good boxer. He's got the boxing brain, I believe, in the division at the moment domestically.
Well, that's fascinating.
The power, look, I've not felt Vidal's power, but as a boxing brain, I remember Vidal as an amateur, great amateur boxer. He's got a great IQ. So, look, that's where I believe I'm going to beat most people. I think my IQ beats a lot of them.
Well, we've had 45 minutes with you tonight. Armani model, JD model, non-singer, best-looking man in British boxing, on his way up through the cruiserweight division. John James Hedges, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Gareth. Thank you, Spencer.
Yeah, thanks, John.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.